Hey guys, we are at the 2023 New York Auto Show, and here is the all-new Hyundai Ioniq 6, based around their now, I think, infamous eGMP architecture that underpins the Ioniq 5, the EV6, and the all-new Kia EV9, as well as the Genesis GV60. And now this is the latest model on it that's on the roads. The Ioniq 6 is their sleek new electric sedan coming in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive dual motor formats, and it introduces this really cool teardrop design. Lots of this new pixel theme that Hyundai keeps going with, and I think it looks fantastic. And I think this is a really strong, efficient electric vehicle in this new sedan segment that's really limited right now. So up front, let's talk about this design language, because I think it's really bold and interesting. Hyundai keeps going with this pixel design theme. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and you can clearly see that in the headlights right here with the pixel daytime running lights over here. You have your two dual LED projectors over there, which are fantastic, and this really low hood over here, and this is to help with the aerodynamics, to make sure the air flows up and over the vehicle. Now we even have aerodynamic flaps on the lower end right here. These dual flaps actually open up for cooling when needed, and you do have a little bit more of that pixel design in the center theme. And I really like how they hit a lot of the sensors and the camera in this black light bar, in this bar right here, which is a really cool way of integrating that into the vehicle. Now, one of the interesting things about the Ioniq 6, more pixels actually, is the sloping roofline that really is sleek and down to the end. Now this is all due to aerodynamics. They want to make it as sleek as possible and has a really low drag coefficient as a result. Now in the rear, we kind of have this interesting third brake light slash spoiler thing going on over here, and I think it looks really cool personally, but some people may have different opinions on that. That also continues the pixel theme going into it, as well onto the third brake light over here as well, which is fantastic. And you kind of see some aerodynamic streaks on there as well. The rear end also is very well styled, but again, more of those pixels. And this is very Porsche-esque over here with the Ioniq 6 badge under this kind of like plastic piece over there. It looks really cool and premium as well. And those pixels carry down onto the lower end of the Ioniq 6, as well with a flat floor as the battery pack is underneath there, which is fantastic. Out back, we do have this little button with pixels, of course, and it is reveal a power opening rear trunk. Now this isn't a hatchback actually, so it's a regular trunk kind of style, but it's a really wide opening, and you do have a pretty deep amount of trunk space in here, which I think is fantastic. So you're going to be able to load this thing up, and the seats do fold down if you need extra storage. And I also love that it's powered. Makes convenience super easy on the Ioniq 6. Now another weird thing is, you may notice on older vehicles that these the door panels actually blend into this. I think this is just due to the platform, and they said it's due to aerodynamic reasons, but it just looks a little odd to me, as we're seeing a lot of new vehicles with almost like frameless door panels. But this is just one weird quirk that I've noticed. And of course, on all the eGMP architecture vehicles, we have pop-out door handles that are flush when the vehicle is locked or moving. So let's go take a tour on the interior, because Hyundai has some really cool stuff going on in there as well. Okay guys, hopping inside the Ioniq 6, we just open up the door just like that when this pop open, and we can see this really unique space on the interior, and this kind of builds off of the Ioniq 5 SUV interior, but even more advanced and a little bit more futuristic inside. So on the door panels, we have these really cool kind of streaks going on here, and these are actually helping the ambient lighting illuminate the entire door panel. It's hidden behind here. You can kind of see that blue light right there. We also have this really long and swooping Bose speaker grill here, which I think looks really fantastic, and you have some storage built into the door panels as well. This one is in the white interior option, so we have perforated seats, which is really nice. Really cool, interesting colored strip right here, and this piping almost looks really fantastic. Nice detailed touch. So let's hop inside and see what it's like inside the Ioniq 6. Getting inside is pretty easy. For a sedan, it feels a little bit almost SUV-like in its driving position. And in here, we actually have the music on. We're gonna turn that off really quickly. In here, we have a all-new steering wheel from Hyundai that we saw on the Ioniq 5, but this one's even taking it a step further, actually. So these actually illuminate, these little pixels dots right here. Currently, I think it only illuminates for the voice activation system, but I think that's gonna change a little bit in the future. Really nice feeling steering wheel, feels really thick and actually very premium-like. And I think Hyundai is doing some of the best regenerative braking options in the segment right now. So you have these paddles to increase and decrease your regenerative braking, but I just feel like the application of it from recently driving the Kia EV6, one of this car's platform mates, is really fantastic. So I do like that. I also love how Hyundai's kind of bringing back the gray interior options and stuff. So I think this is a really cool touch. It's a little bit of a different take from the typical black plastics of C's we've been seeing. I actually quite like this a lot. I think it kind of breaks up on the boring interiors we've been seeing a lot in the past few years. Qi wireless charging right here, and we also have a USB port and more pixels, again, all over the place. all over the place. We're going to be finding pixels in this interior and exterior, which you're going to find in the Hyundai lineup nowadays. Love this drive mode button on the steering wheel as well. Actually feels very solid and premium too. I'm really impressed with that. And that's another thing. This build quality here is fantastic. I think they really knocked it out of the ballpark, and you can kind of see how well this integrates into the rest of the interior. This giant speaker grill, I think it looks fantastic. I wish this was at night because there's a lot of cool ambient lighting in here, but you're seeing it in the daytime. So that's what we're going to get right now. We do have a EV start stop button, so your start stop, turn on and off the vehicle. Love how they have separate climate controls in the interior and a really nice premium looking design as well. I mean, this is Hyundai's typical infotainment system we've seen on a lot of their vehicles these days, so nothing too crazy here. If you've seen my EV6 GT review when we had it for the week, very similar looking infotainment system actually. At least they changed the vehicle, unlike the Kia EV6 actually, so that's one little quirk I've noticed. But pretty quick to use. Some of the menus can be a little bit tedious to kind of get through, but nonetheless, I think it's well integrated. But I'm very curious to try out the new infotainment system on the new Kia EV9, which has thinner bezels. It actually removes the climate controls and puts them into the screen, so that's gonna be a little bit controversial, but those are the new things out there. Really weird stock for the drive selection for drive, neutral, reverse, and park. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's really unusual looking, kind of protrudes out of the stock over here. Very strange, but I guess it frees up more space in the center console for these massive cup holders, huge amount of cubby storage down there, and they even have your unlock and unlock buttons in the center console, almost like your old European exotic car, which is really weird stuff. Even your window controls are down here too. They really wanted to free up all that space in the door panels for storage. In the center console here, we have a lot of more storage, USB-C ports, and a little bit of a cubby storage right there, which is nice. And this feels, wow, that actually feels good. I'm really critical about these center consoles build quality, because some of the manufacturers really screw this up. This feels really nice and solid too. Good job, Honda. I really love that. And unlike the Toyota competition, there's an actual glove box here. Thank you for including that, Hyundai, as well. We'll hop into the rear seats in a little bit, but I just want to give you guys a quick tour of the front end on the Ioniq 6, because this is actually a really fantastic place to be. I am going to move my power adjusted seats into my driving position so I can get an accurate representation of what it will be like to sit behind me. And let's hop in the back right now. So getting into the rear of the Ioniq 6 is the same process as getting into the front. You have your door handles that'll pop out to you, and you have a huge amount of space back here. Let's go hop in. And the best part is all the materials in the back are just as the same in the front. You get a little bit of a better taste of the ambient lighting back here too. And wow, there's a lot of legroom here. I can really stretch out my legs in the back of this car. And this is sitting behind myself. I'm 6 feet tall, and that's my driving position. So this is fantastic. And I love how they give you these little cubby holes on both sides of the rear seats, which is fantastic. And now you can get a better view of this awesome interior space. I wish there was a panoramic roof, but this is fine enough for this little moonroof over here. The seats are very well sculpted. You don't feel like you're kind of like raised up with your legs, as some EVs do feel sometimes. And you do have a center console armrest with cup holders as well. No heated rear seats, it appears, but we do have 2 charger ports and a little air vents as well, and a little bit of some storage down here as well. And you have this gigantic open floor space because there's no center console, as this is an electric vehicle. So that's pretty awesome as well. So yeah, guys, I'm really liking the new Ioniq 6. I would love to be able to drive one. So hopefully, Hyundai, if you see this video, please let us drive an Ioniq 6 for a week, because I'll be really, really happy. Nonetheless, thank you guys for joining me on this video, and stay tuned for a lot more content coming soon from Allcarnews.